Hello and welcome back to the Broken Doll. Well, I've come to you tonight with these two little dolls. I have spackled their heads. You can see here they've been spackled, and I've been working a little bit on this one right here, just sanding away, hoping that I am getting most of the little areas that need to be done. But you can see how much a lot of this has been filled in areas. And this is just spackling. That's all I've used on here for those that are new to my channel. And thank you for subscribing too along the way. That's been very nice. And I hope you are enjoying my channel, going through and seeing what I'm all about and everything. But I've been doing this for about, what is it now? 14 years now. And oh, I've learned a lot and made a lot of mistakes and still make them off and on, but getting a little bit better. We're thinning them down and, you know, just getting a little bit better at things here and understanding how this all works and everything. But yeah, right now we're just, you know, I'm not saying I'm not going to use Milliput on them. If I feel they need it and spackling is just not giving me what I need, then of course right away we'll jump right into the Milliputting them in places where they need it the most. But right now they're looking good. At this time, you know, looking at them, but we'll be making decisions as we move along. But I think they're looking really nice. Yeah. Lots of work to be done all the time on these dolls. And especially when you're starting at this level here with them. At the beginning, you know, lots of sanding and sanding and sanding. I want to write a book. I'm going to start, I think, this coming year and just start putting ideas down, how to restore and how I restore. Now, I'm not saying my way is the right way, and what I expect people to do is take the book, and I'll put this in the beginning in the preface, and I'll just put in there, you know, when I give these ideas out and what I do, then you can expand on them or do less or do, you know, do more or whatever you feel. This is going to be a starting point for you. And things that you don't like, change. And then, but the thing is, tell us about when you explore into something, you find something new and different to share it with everybody so that we know too, and we can make those moves. And that's the idea of this here, you know, why I started my channel, so that we can learn together. And what works for you may not work for others. You may like something better. That feels pretty good there. Yeah. Right, Mabel? This is, if you saw Mabel go by, I don't know if you did or not, but she's my little girl cat that lives out here. And right now she's putting her paw on me because she wants me to hold her. And I already gave her a huggle. That's what we call them. She gets a night huggle, and then she gets a morning huggle. Don't you? And that's never enough. Then she wants me to spank her on her butt. My daughter started that with her, not me. But she puts her butt up for me to spank it, so I spank it. It's just my daughter and her thing. But if my daughter doesn't come in, I got to do the spanking. I got to give her a couple taps on her bum. And she seems it is like that, so I go, okay, you must have been bad in the night. What were you doing in the night? What were you doing? Yeah. I don't know if you can see her or not. Let's see. I don't know if you can see her. She's putting her paw on me here. Like, she puts her paw on my arm because she wants me to hold her. I brought in a tuna sandwich, and I thought she would like some, but she didn't seem interested in it. So if I don't come in here to eat, sometimes the dog in there wants my food. So I started that. I spoiled him. So we're trying to stop him of that. Yes. What is your problem? You gonna give me kisses? Yeah, you're a good girl. You're a good girl. You want your sissy to come out and give you a spanking? Yeah? Uh-huh. You're a good girl, aren't you? Yeah. You just tell everybody I'm a good girl. Santa's coming. I think she's going to get some toys from Santa this year. But anyways, this is just a light sanding we're giving this doll. And trying to get some of this off because she doesn't need it all on. It's just like this one here. When we start with one like this has been just never touched yet. It's been yes, Oh, what happened? What happened? Did you almost fall? Oh, spackle. We've spackled the doll. So now what we do is we just take our sandpaper. I'm using a 180 grit. P180. That's all I'm using is a 180. And I just go over it. You'll find the grit that you like, and then when you find it, stay with it. Some people say they like this, they like that, and I go, then that's what works for you. And you stick to that because that's what's making you feel comfortable in your doll restoration. A lot of people stick to the 180. They say, oh, I see why you like the 180. And I go, yeah, like, I mean, I didn't make it up. I just find what works for me, and I can suggest what I use, and that's it, you know, and away we go. But this is called the chest plate here. And this one has a body that goes around here, and the arms come out. And a lot of these dolls have different bodies. Some connect up at the neck, some by the chest area. Just below the chest. Now, why do we spackle? When I'm taking off the paint, this is for those that are new, my knife will sometimes go into the composition just a titch, and it leaves a little titch behind, a little indent. And when I paint, my paint will go into those indents. You can never outpaint those indents. Those indents will show. You can put on 20 coats of paint and your paint will still go into those indents. It will never fill them up unless you use a very thick paint. Then it turns out gloppy. You want to be careful with that. So what do? Well, we take the doll and we put a little spackling on it. Now, those little indents also can be formed from when it was made, also when the child played with it and put a dent into the paint, which put into the composition. So that can happen as well. So maybe it's a little bit of everything, but a lot of them are mine as well. When you're taking off paint, you can't stop that process of not nicking into the composition. Composition is soft. It's wood. It's sawdust and glue. This is a very soft material, even though it's very hard in that way, but very soft to the knife. And the knife will go in and leave a little dent. So we've used some spackling. Now I used a milliput. Use milliput all over, but milliput is a two-part epoxy clay and type of a clay. And then when you do that, sometimes you cover up markings on the doll that you don't want covered up, little accent marks. So where this doesn't touch them. And so what you do is you come along and you find yourself using the spackling more and more, because why? It allows you in there where the milliput will actually cover it up. You're allowed to keep some of those accent marks, and that's the beauty of it all. Now, what stays behind is where my knife, or whatever happened through history of the doll, fills in, and it fills in all these little marks. See all those little marks being filled in? And that's what we want. We want those little marks filled in. And that's the beauty of this. Now your paint will go right over instead of trying to leave filling in those little dents all the time. Little divots, whatever you want to call them. But we don't need to keep all this on here. Like I say, we want to let the composition absorb the paint. That's what we want. That's the whole idea. We want the composition to be part of this. We don't need... There we go. Now, when I paint this, this will cover up those little divots, but the composition will also be allowed to absorb the paint, not the spackling, all this spackling. You don't need all that spackling on there. All you need is where your knife has went into. Or even in the makeup of the composition, you need a little bit of spackling on there to fill up some of when they made it. There's marks on it even when they make it. The composition can take quite a hit, but you don't know what hit it's going to be where it finally does crack and it just can't deal with it anymore. So these dolls were very durable to a certain extent, and then they had their limitations. Then over the years, it dries out. But I love working with the wood. I love working with it. It's such a beautiful I guess what you want to say, canvas to work on, but it's not a blank canvas. It already has its imprints and all its issues and everything. You're taking that canvas and improving it, the picture that's on the canvas. That's the nape of the neck. Well, the company we're going to have in November, they cannot come because they developed a car problem that is absorbing some of the money that they were going to use for the trip. So they're coming at Christmas only, right? Is that okay, Mabel? Mabel thinks I'm talking to her too. Yeah. Do you think I'm talking to you too? Mm-hmm. She's my little shop cat. Yeah. She's probably thinking, I don't know who you're talking to. Must be me. Mm-hmm. Is it you I'm talking to? Mm-hmm. So there you go. There's the chest done. Well, I'm not going to say completely done. I still like to go over it more. There's some areas in here that I would like to, you know, do further work on. I'm not done on that head either. But it's just, I want you to see what's left behind. All that is left behind is now covered in, and now the paint will go over it and make a nice smooth job. So I hope you enjoyed this video, seeing this here and how this all works and how we get a doll going and like started and everything, and the next steps that we'll be taking. These will turn out to be beautiful little baby dolls. There is some up in here that I also missed. I can see that, which I might just take some in the next in the next little while. Now, one of the things about this is this had 3 days to dry, so this is a 3-day drying period. I don't like doing it right afterwards. I put it on sometimes thick in areas. As you can see, it's really thick in some areas, so you really want it to dry. It does go on pink and then it dries white. But just because it's turned white doesn't mean it's ready. Like I say, I like to let it cure for a couple days. This has been at least 72 hours. And it's now ready to be worked on after that length of time. You can even go at 48 hours, but I would like to give it a good couple days to 3 days, even 4, depending what's going on in my life. It doesn't bother me to let them sit 4 or 5 days like this and then come. And the more you let it sit, the better it becomes. It hardens more and more and becomes part of the doll. And that's what you want, you know, but you're still able to sand it. And that's the beauty of spackling. It's soft, but yet hard. It's a very funky material that you're using that allows you to, because all you want it for is to fill in blemished areas, and that's all this is about, is filling in blemishes and little marks on the doll, and so that your paint doesn't have to fall into it. We want the paint to fall into the waves of the hair, but we don't want it to fall into little marks, and we're not going to get them all. There you can see there's how many across this right across the back of the doll, and you know what? There's still going to be some on there that we didn't get, but you can't get them all. We're going to go for the most that we can get. The most, and that's it. And sometimes I have to go back, even once I put the first coat on, go, that ain't working for me. And I got to go over and sand again, sand the paint off, or remove the paint right away, and go back in and put more spackling on, because especially if it's in the face area. On some of my Patsy dolls, I didn't get them all off the face, and that bothers me. You know, I can let it go on the arms, the legs, and the body, but when it comes to the face, I'm really particular. And even though I took off a vast majority of them, I still see some up around the lip area where I missed, and I still missed them. I did fill them in, but just didn't work, you know. But you do the best you can, you get where you can, and that's how it goes, you know. They look better than what they did when they first started, so I can give them that much. So we remember when they start like this, and then we go from there. And I mean, this doll here, I remember taking her paint off, and there was hardly anything on the doll. It was lifted right up, and someone painted her with acrylic. These dolls need to be painted with oil. But there we go. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy these little gappers getting here their paint job done. And his head is about the size of the whole head and chest of this doll. But anyways, there we go. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope I gave a lot of information, especially to the new ones that are stopping in and don't know much about this. That's what this was for. I've had some questions about what I do and everything, so I hope that kind of opens up the door to some of this. And as we move along, I'll give more explanations and about this, the process as I go through it. And I'll be coming back very shortly with very shortly with another video and on their progress and how they move along. I need to take paint off fingers and toes and everything yet on the arms and legs, so we have a lot of that yet to go. Oh, wait a minute, no, I took their legs. Let's take a look at their legs just for a quick second here. They have also been plastered. They've been spackled, so that's what I did with the legs. All the legs are dried back here. So there we go. Well, thank you for joining me. A lot more of this to come. And I'm glad you dropped in and you stopped for a few minutes just to hear me ramble on here. And I hope I gave a lot of good information. And we'll be seeing you shortly. And enjoy the weekends coming up. One more work day for those that are Monday to Friday. Hope you had a good week and you enjoy your weekend. And I'll be coming back really soon. Bye-bye. Oh, leave a comment too. And press the subscribe button if you're passing by and you go, hey, I like that lady. And I go, you know what I say? I understand why you do. Okay, thanks again for joining me. Just a little giggle there. All right, bye-bye.